Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm at a job to repair a Daikin Ductless mini split R32 unit. So I've been here previously and diagnosed it. So basically the unit, when you put it onto heating or cooling, it doesn't actually do anything and just flashes at you. However, if you put it onto fan only, the indoor fan works perfectly and works fine. So the unit's responding, it's just an issue with the heating or cooling. So when I went through the fault codes via the remote controller, I was cycling through the fault codes, but the unit wasn't actually beeping at me, so it was impossible to find what the fault was using that method. So there's something going on with the PC boards. So basically I went onto the roof and I 100% confirmed that the outdoor PC board is faulty. It's losing power in the board internally, so there was a fuse that had no power either side of it. So there's something going on with that outdoor board. So I'm here today to replace the board. I'm also going to replace the outdoor fan motor, which is pretty normal practice, especially this one. This one is cooked because we're right next to the ocean. So just going to replace the outdoor board and the outdoor fan. I tested the compressor and the electronic expansion valve to make sure they don't have an issue, and they weren't the original cause of this faulty board, which they're not, they're all good. Now I've also got an indoor board. So I'm going to replace the outdoor board and the fan, turn it on. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I've got the indoor board with me to replace it, which, to be honest, I think there's an issue with the indoor board as well, but I'll just do it that way. So if I can get away with not replacing the indoor board, sweet, but I think I'll have to. So that's the go, that's the rundown. If you liked the video, sweet, thank you, please give it a like. If you want to see more, if you can subscribe, that'd be sweet also. So let's get straight into it. So this is the aircon. Basically, like I said, I've diagnosed the outdoor board and we'll see if that actually fixes the problem. So what I'll do is I'll go show you what the problem is first, and then I'll go find the switchboard and try find where power comes from. This unit doesn't have an isolator, which is very frustrating. I hate when people don't install isolators. This is obviously cooked as well, but anyway, you need to get one of these keys. This is a key for electrical switchboards in Australia. I have one in my bag at all times. So I'm just gonna go basically turn a circuit off at a time and just find where it's located and isolate it. So anyway, let's go first, go see, I'll show you what the unit is doing and we'll go find where this thing is located. So I've brought up just my tool bag, knee pads in there and socket set and all the other hand tools, spare tools, and my magnetic umbrella because it looks like it could rain. So anyways, let's get into it. So nothing is labeled. Alright, what a nightmare that was, trying to find the power. I ended up getting the maintenance guy to go through the circuit breakers whilst I stayed up here testing, and he accidentally just turned the main switch off. And anyway, so he turned the main switch off to this whole hostel. I've taken the power feed out, put it in BPs so he can turn it back on. However, when I turned the power off, disconnected the power, turned it back on, they didn't have power. And I'm like, what's going on? Then I realised that they actually ran the main power feed, which just goes straight across the roof, to 1, 2 and 3, not line neutral earth. It didn't blow anything like when they did that, because line and neutral is actually just 1 and 2, like it's the same thing. But yeah, you gotta always have your wits about you when you're working on stuff, like just going through the motions. I could have just like not tested that again and touched it, not realizing that there's still power there, even though I've disconnected what was in line neutral and earth. Not a big deal, like it's all good, but always got to be on the ball. It's like the Wild West out here, these people installing stuff like this. Anyway, I'm going to get into it and get this board changed over. Let's go. Alright, so this is the new board. That's the old one. that fuse there had no power going to it. Who knows?
Alright, so this is so the board was faulty, but I'm just changing the fan anyway because that's generally what you do. Alright, so I'm just going to go to the car, spray some WD-40 on that, and then just come back up with just the fan. Sorry, with just the blade, and I'll put the new fan motor in. Plus I've got to go make sure my car hasn't been marked. I'll be back.
No, you don't have to be back somewhere quickly. You can stay out if you want.
100%. Once you get a fridge in your car, you'll never go back. And even just like when you're not going away, like. Yep.
But it has to be done by a license, not fucking car regulators. Like, it has to be done by a premium industry.
That's right, little car right there, yeah. That's the best.
So I actually had it professionally done by license.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, fair enough.
because they had to put in extra systems to run with the smart alternators.
Yeah, well I actually did mine myself, and fucking just, yeah, but Volkswagen's obviously a little bit different. It didn't void my warranty. But yeah, that's what I was about to say. If you're doing your missus' Golf, doing the smart alternator, like trying to find something in a Volkswagen that has constant 12 volt and it doesn't fluctuate is a little bit difficult.
Which I thought should be the case, because, come on, you can buy a car in the last 5 years.
100% it should be 5 years. That's what the warranty's for. That's why you go a decent brand, because like I know some of these. Alright, that's all done. That's running. I've obviously flagged multiple issues. The unit's up and running again, so they're sweet. But yeah, the indoor unit needs to be cleaned, like deep clean, bag clean. That's cooked, but at least that's the problem fixed. Sweet. Job's done. So I ended up needing to replace the indoor board after that. So yeah, it ended up being a faulty outdoor board. I'll actually show you. 100% the outdoor board is faulty. Bear with me, sorry. It was where my thumb is, that one. That little fuse had no power going to either side of it. It's not like the fuse was blown, it just had no power coming out of the board. It was cooked. So that was absolutely like faulty, so I replaced that and it still wasn't working. So luckily I had the indoor board and just sorted that out too. Indoor board's been replaced and it now works sweet. I think from now on, well, it's not now on, I actually already did this and already do this, but if you have a unit where it's just not making the beeping noise, there's a component on the indoor unit that's not right. So just make sure you go to site with an indoor board, but don't just think that's all it is. Definitely go check the fuses on the outdoor board for sure. So that's what I did and got it sorted. So
I just thought I'd make this video because sometimes it's a bit tricky, you know, if you're new to working on Daikin and you can't get the fault codes up. It can be tricky, but yeah. And now I've just got this shit all over my steering wheel. Anyway, that's the video done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.